guys, this is Lance Brown with Team Prodigy Disc, and today I'm going to show you what's in my bag. So I'm going to start out with the putting putters. First off, I've been putting with this beautiful swirly guy for about a month or two now. Found it at the warehouse and it was just beautiful, just sitting there by itself, and it was just calling my name. And I've had this other 300 PA3 that I also putt with, maybe a little bit more glide for outside the circle putts. I've been putting with this one for quite a few months, so it's got quite a bit of glide, and really liking that one too. For throwing putters, I have a 200/300 blend PA4, and I have a 750 PA4 and 300 PA3. The PA4s I mostly use for short sidearm up shots, and this guy, if I have a jump putt from 70 to 80 feet and I need to do a little bit of hyzer flip, kind of half throw sort of release, that's what I'll be going to. Super flippy for throwing, and this guy is one of my go-tos for any kind of wooded shot, especially for sidearms. I can hyzer flip this guy, and it'll just gonna get kind of a slow turnover, and it has a nice concave top, so I can have a really good grip on it and trust my sidearm fan grip. And then my PA3, just stable for approaches, likes to stick with the 300 plastic. It's actually PA1. I fooled myself with that one. It's stamped PA3, but it's actually a PA1. So we'll go on to my approach series discs. As you can see, I have my bag sorted in a rainbow, so something cool that I like to always try to keep a different color disc in the rainbow, so that I'm always repping Roy G. Biv. Let's see, I have 4 of the A series, and we'll start with the most stable. I have a 300 A2. I've really been loving this disc since it came out, and anytime I'm playing like on a hybrid course or somewhere where I have like a 250 to 150 foot approach shot, especially sidearm, I know I can trust this guy and just throw it into the teeth of the wind, and it's not gonna roll, it's not gonna skip because of the nice base plastic. Next I have 400 A2, which is even more stable, and maybe if I'm not too worried about getting a skip, or if I could possibly hit a tree, I'm not too worried about this guy hitting a tree and keeping its shape, whereas the 300 will kind of get warped a little bit. Next I have a 400 A3, thanks to my teammate Nick Masters for giving me this one after I lost my previous one. And yeah, this is so good for maybe slightly longer approaches, has a little bit more glide than the A2s. And this guy, you might have seen in the Wintertime Open, me throwing this on approaches. If I have a tight approach shot, I'll usually fan grip this sidearm if I need to get up and down from pretty short distance, and I can also rip on it a little bit with a hyzer flip. So if you throw a lot of sidearms, really recommend the 400G A4. Teach you a really good hyzer flip. For my mid-ranges, I don't have too many. Usually just for utility shots. Maybe when I'm playing back home in Carolina or somewhere where there's tight woods. First I have a 300S M4. I really like to bring this out for somewhere like the Beast here in Waco, where I need to possibly have some get out of trouble options, where I can throw a big just slow speed anhyzer shot, or maybe a utility roller or something. Just super flippy, but I think it's an underrated base plastic disc. And I think I have another M4 for the woods. This is my Goddamn M4, probably my oldest Prodigy disc. I think I got it at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open, and it has just been, it's been very reliable. Became pretty flippy, about as flippy as it is now within a year or so, and I can put a little bit more torque on this one than the 300 and know that it's just gonna keep a steady turnover and have a nice finish, and that's 400G plastic. So I have a 400G M3, which I've been keeping in the bag for a while. Chris Dickerson turned me onto this one. a few years back, and just really good hyzer flip. Usually only throw it for backhand, but really good hyzer flip to flat and just will glide for days. It has a unique characteristic of, like, even on a hyzer, it'll just kind of keep pushing forward and gliding. And we'll go M2, got a nice first run here. More overstable than most M2s that I find. Anytime I need to hit a gap and know that I'm going to drift left and get a nice quicker finish than an M3, I'll go with that. And I have my really old 400S M1, just pretty beefy. I can trust it into a headwind. Maybe when I'm not quite going to need an H1 or an H3 or something, I can go to this guy. Get a little more glide than I would with my A series discs, my A2 or A3. All right, next I got my Fairway Drivers. I only carry 3 at the moment. First, there's this 750 F5, quite a good bit of glide, really good hyzer flip, woods disc especially for backhand and sidearm. Normally only throwing this where there are tighter courses and some tunnels to hit. So really liking this one. And if I need a little bit more stable version, I'll go with this Bowling Green F5. And this is the most overstable F5 I've ever seen or thrown. I can actually torque this pretty hard sidearm or backhand, and it fights. It's, I'd say, almost like an F2, F1 flight. And then I have a Team Stamped F2. Really liking this one for overstable fairway shots right now. Just put it in the bag recently. Can definitely hold up in a headwind, yet has a little bit more glide than some of my H series, which I'll get to next. Next, I have my H series, my hybrids. Start off with this workhorse. This guy's been in the bag for a really long time, 750 H3. Really good hyzer flip, especially sidearm, but sometimes backhand as well. Just when I need maybe a little more controlled finish than with my fairways, I'll usually go to this guy, or when I need it to hyzer flip and push forward and hit a gap. And then my other H3, my other 750 H3, a little bit flatter, I guess a little more overstable. If I need to trust in any kind of little headwind maybe, or just kind of finish sooner than I would the other 750 H3. And then I have my probably about a year or so, this Glow 400 H1's been in the bag. Always can trust it's going to come back. It actually took me a while to get to where I could throw it and have just a touch of glide on it, so I could get, maybe 350 feet of carry. I use it predominantly for sidearmers, but if I need to spike a backhand up over anything, this is definitely always the disc I'm going to go to. And next, pretty exciting to have these guys in my bag. The new H1 V2 and the H3 V2. Started throwing these within a couple weeks when they came out, and they immediately went right in the bag. This H1 V2 I really love because I had a 400G H1 that was really worked in, and I could get some glide out of it, probably throw it over 350 feet, which is kind of a lot for an H1 for me, especially on a sidearm. But this guy, brand new, kind of replicates that flight. Just not quite as overstable as an H1, and it goes place. I can probably get it over 400 feet, backhand or sidearm if I need to. And the H3 V2, Prodigy has just done an awesome job with this disc. I don't really have it worked in yet. As it beats in, I know it's gonna be a hyzer flipper, and it's gonna just be a money tunnel shot disc, and gonna be using it all over the course. Last but not least, got my drivers and my 1X series. I'll start out with the D1s. I have 4 of them in the bag currently. Got this really pretty swirly slash, I don't know what you would call it, design, but yeah, I don't see too many discs like this. And my buddy Cole in Florida let me try this one out, and it started out pretty stable, but a nice kind of hyzer flip to flat, just trusty, normal, stable, pretty straight flight for me. Backhand or sidearm, pretty much on all these drivers. And I have these two very overstable D1s. One of these old purple runs, which are always just really nice in the wind, really good profile. Really loving that one. Really pretty disc too, and purple's my favorite color. I got this Page Pierce signature D1 from back in the day. The most overstable driver in my bag for sure right now. Anytime that I'm worried about a headwind or anything, I'm definitely pulling it out. It's nice to have that comfort blanket. And then this last D1 is double stamp D2 that I got done, and it's a nice swirly blend of 400G plastic. It seems to have more distance potential a little bit, so if I need a pretty stable flight but just a nice overstable finish, I'll usually reach for this one. Next, we got actually just one D2 in the bag right now. This one is pretty straight for a driver. Still kind of trying to work it in to where it has a straighter for longer flight, but a really nice 400G D2. And usually when I need a new overstable disc, I'll put a new one of these in the bag because brand new, they're more overstable than most drivers that we have. Then got a couple of D4s. First off, we have one of my favorites, Katrina Allen stamped. I call it Kagrina, and it's kind of a different blend of D4. Kind of has a higher shoulder and a higher dome. It goes pretty far, and yeah, it's not as flippy as its counterpart. This fresh 400 D4 I just put in the bag. This one I'll throw for hyzer flips in the woods, for sidearm or backhand or something. I can just hyzer flip and have a nice glide from left to right with a backhand and then right to left with a sidearm. So really liking it for low tonal shots and anything where I need some controlled hyzer flip. And then we just got two more here. I've been really liking the X3 since it came out. I got a nice Yuli stamped one here. Just usually only backhand, but I'm working with it for a sidearm a little bit nowadays. Really good hyzer flip to flat, possibly a little bit of turn mid-flight, and just they seem to go really far with not much effort. So I've really been liking that, especially for my backhand. Then, man, every Prodigy player ought to have a D6. Very, very good utility disc. One of the best roller discs I've ever thrown. Just likes to get to the ground real quick and always likes to cut. Always likes to stand up and roll, no matter what angle you hit. Which sometimes it's not a good thing if you don't throw it perfectly, but you can always trust that it's gonna fight and it's gonna get a good roller line. Other things in my bag, got my college disc golf mini, a couple extra minis in the side pockets. Always like to keep some trail mix in there. Definitely some sunscreen for me, and yeah, nice water bottle holders. Water bottle, and I always try to have a bay. So thank you guys for tuning in, and see you out on the course. Okay, take one's done.
This is crazy. I would not, that's amazing. What a win for Lance. From North Carolina, out here on the road, first time of the season in Southern California, where Paul does not lose.
Doesn't. It hasn't happened. I've never seen it.